Hi, I'm Norman Reedus, and I'm doing the Wired autocomplete interview. It should just be Ken Norman Reedus. Get it? How was Norman Reedus discovered? That's an interesting story. I was working at a motorcycle shop in Venice, California. I'd followed a girl that I had met in Tokyo who lived in New York, and she asked me to move to Los Angeles. And at that time, I was actually in Spain, and I was living in this tiny little thing and doing these little paintings. And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing this. I want to come to LA. I got a job at a motorcycle place in Venice, California. Got in a fight with the guy who owned it. Ended up that night going to a party up in the Hollywood Hills, drinking way too much. Started yelling at a crowd of people, and then someone asked me to be in a play. And they told me, you'd be the understudy, you wouldn't even have to do anything, and we'll pay you these many dollars a day, and you just have to show up, but you don't actually have to go on stage and do it." So I was like, game on. And the first day, the dude didn't show up, and I had to do it. I was very lucky. There was a lady named Laura Kennedy who was in the audience, liked me, started, I think it was called side pocketing or hip pocketing or something like that, and that's when they don't sign you, but they have faith that you might do something someday. And I did some things. The name of the play was called Maps for Drowners. It was at the Tiffany Theater on Sunset, which is no longer there.
Who did you play?
He had some stupid name like Tal or Tad or something like that. Yeah, he was like a surfer boy. He was from Oklahoma, came out to California. It was supposed to be a thing, and he got wrapped up. And the play was about an apartment in New York that rented the apartment to like 5 different groups of people, and so they all showed up to get the keys, and there was all these people in the house, and everyone started bitching, but then they found out that the reason why the guy had rented it to all these people was because he had AIDS and he had to pay for his doctor bill, and so they all sort of started to get along after that. All right, the next one. How to get Norman Reedus hair. Oh, that's easy. You just don't cut it. I'm on a TV show that doesn't let me cut my hair because they own my head. But yeah, I do have friends that have salons and things like that, and they've given this haircut to people. People have come in and said, "Hey, can we get Daryl Dixon haircuts?" And so it's a thing. So there you go. How Norman Reedus Restaurant is not even proper English, by the way, but I do have a restaurant. I have a restaurant in Sonoya, Georgia, where we filmed The Walking Dead, called Nick and Norman's. I share it with Greg Nicotero and Robert Kirkman and Dave Alpert and a few other people. I think we're expanding to Savannah and one other place, I forget, Chattanooga, I believe. And then I'm also part owner in my friend Luke's restaurant here in New York called Cafe Chitan, which is also going to be, he has one in Cobble Hill, and he has one in Tokyo, and he's about to have one in Venice, California. There you go. How old is Norman Reedus today? He's 51, had a birthday January 6th. I'm a Capricorn, just like Jesus Christ, and that's how old I am. How Norman Reedus vegan? Yeah, I've gone back and forth with that. I'm currently doing it again. I started doing that when I was in Georgia, because where I live is way out in the country. And I started getting those ready-made meals, or not the ready-made, but they send you the ingredients and you make them yourself. I forgot the name of it, Blue something. And the vegetarian ones were just better than the other ones. And I think they sent me one by accident, which is like 3 weeks worth of meals. And I did it, and I liked it better. And I actually felt better. I felt lighter, and we run around in the woods in Georgia in the heat, and you got to keep on your feet. So I enjoyed it. I kept doing it. All right, next one. Why Norman Reedus? The f does that mean? Why Norman Reedus? My dad's name was Norman when I was little. He passed away. And yeah, there you go. That's why. Why Norman Reedus Death Stranding? I did the video game because Guillermo del Toro originally called me and said, "Hey, a guy named Hideo Kojima is going to call you. Just say yes." And I was like, "Who is he?" He goes, "Doesn't matter who he is, just say yes." And then I met Hideo at Comic-Con in San Diego. He came out back when we were going to do a different game, and he showed me what he was working on, and I was just blown away. I mean, the guy's like a super genius. And then I became friends with him, started working with him, and we kept going. And so we did Death Stranding, which was a huge hit, and we're in talks to do other stuff. So that's why. Because it's Hideo Kojima, that's why. Norman Reedus, sunglasses, why? Why not? You know, I just wear them a lot. I have really sensitive eyes, like bright light, I just start tearing up. I always have. I was in a car crash in Berlin, maybe, what was it, like 10 years ago? And no, before that. I was hit by a truck, by an 18-wheeler truck, and I went flying through the window of the car, and my eyeball popped out. So they had to put me back together, and so I have a whole titanium eye socket right here, and I have like 4 screws in my nose. But ever since, like, bright light, it really bothers me. And so I wear sunglasses all the time. Next one, why is Norman Reedus so popular? That's a really good question. I think because TV is a whole thing. I mean, you know, people, they watch you from the comfort of their living room. And, you know, I walk around with big movie stars sometimes, and I get hounded more than they do. And I think it's because of television. I remember a long time ago being on a plane with the cast of Friends, and I thought they were going to storm the airplane and flip the plane over. So I think it's just television. I think that's why. Next one, why Norman Reedus on Charmed? I was on Charmed way back when. Rose McGowan's a friend of mine, and I love Rose. And we were out to dinner one time. We had the same manager at the time. And she was like, "What? You should be on the show." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You could play my boyfriend." And I was like, "Hell yeah." Then all of a sudden the next day there was like contracts, and I was like, "Oh, so this is happening." And we did it, and it was a lot of fun. And I still talk to Rose, so there you go. Next one, why Norman Reedus tattoos? Jeez, these are real questions. I don't know. I got a few tattoos, so what? Don't yell at me. Who cares? All right, next one. What is Norman Reedus like in real life? He's a total asshole. In real life, I don't know. I'm kind of shy. I'm kind of a neat freak, believe it or not. My refrigerator has to be like perfectly organized. I have like 5 of those little vacuums that are robots that clean your house. All I do is pick up after my cat, really, who throws up everywhere. I ride motorcycles a lot. I collect punk rock 45s. Yeah, like that. Next one. What color are Norman Reedus' eyes? Usually red, but I was born with blue eyes. What is Norman Reedus' birthday? January 6, 1969. I'm a Capricorn, Scorpio rising, and I think I'm a Leo moon. Next one. What is Norman Reedus doing now? He's doing Google ads, I think. Right now, I'm shooting Ride Season 5. I just flew in from New Zealand, which is why I'm so asleep right now. We did the north side of the island, or the north part of the country, then the south part. Then I flew in, and we're supposed to fly next week to Italy and Greece and Croatia, but I think because of the coronavirus, we've kind of put that on hold now. They're trying to figure it out. I have an art show in Copenhagen coming up. I just did Sotheby's. I have one in Geneva. I have one in Cologne. We were thinking about Japan. I'm shooting Ride. I'm getting ready to do Walking Dead. Talking to Hideo about maybe doing some Death Stranding stuff and being daddy. That's what I'm doing. What was Norman Reedus' first movie? My first movie was Mimic with Guillermo del Toro. He got me my SAG card or whatever. And then after that, I did 6 Ways to Sunday with Debbie Harry and Isaac Hayes. And then what else? I can't remember. All right, next one. Where Norman Reedus, height? I'm like 5'10" and a half-ish, something like that. Yeah, something like that. 5'10" and a half, 5'10", 5'11", some Where does Norman Reedus come from? I was born in Hollywood, Florida, and I lived there for about 3 days. Bounced around a lot after that. Dropped out of high school, moved to Tokyo, ended up in Spain, where I picked up the last story that I told. Where Norman Reedus original art? I have there's a website called Big Bald Gallery. There's a lady named Lori Dolphin that runs that for me and does shows for me, like the art shows that I was talking about that I'm about to do and the ones I just finished. I just collaborated with Mick Rock on something, and we may do a book together. There's another book of photographs coming out, and then there's a bunch of shows coming out. Yeah, so there. Where Norman Reedus Prada? Oh yeah, I was in a Prada campaign a long time ago. I did a movie called 6 Ways to Sunday. On the set of that, Ellen Von Unworth came and shot photographs. The photographs she took to Miuccia Prada's house. Miuccia at that time was doing a series of actors in ads. Like Willem Dafoe did it, Joaquin did it, a Japanese actor did it, John Malkovich did it. And so Mucha was like, I got to find another actor to do this next Prada campaign. And Ellen goes, here's some photos. I shot this kid today. Then I got a call from my manager saying it's between you and Nicolas Cage to do a Prada campaign. And I said, what's Prada? And she said, well, they'll fly you to Paris and give you free clothes forever. And I was like, never been to Paris. And so I did that. And I think more people saw the Prada ad than 6 Ways to Sunday. So people thought that was my jam, but you know, I'm short and I can't sit still. I'd never make it in the modeling world. Okay, next one. Can Norman Reedus speak Japanese? Choto, Skoshi, Toda wa doko desu ka? Which there's actually a funny story. Andy Lincoln and I went to Shanghai and Tokyo and all these different places for a press junket. I think season 3 of Walking Dead. We arrive and we're super asleep, right? There's a whole camera crew full of people. We're on live television. So we're drinking our coffees, trying to wake up, and he goes, you speak a little Japanese, right? And I go, yeah, a tiny bit. And he goes, how do I say, thank you for having me in your country? And I said, Toile wa doko desu ka? He goes, okay. And so they start the thing and he stands up and he goes, oh, wait, before we start, Toile wa doko desu ka? And then like 20 people are going, he stands up, he does it louder, Toile wa doko desu ka? And then he goes, what the did I just say? And I go, you just asked where the toilet was. So on live TV, Andy Lincoln is going, Toile wa doko desu ka? Which is one of the highlights of my whole professional career. Can Norman Reedus ride? Yeah, I can ride. I got 12 bikes. Yeah, I can ride. Can Norman Reedus sing? Nope, not at all. You don't want me to sing. I did get on stage with Anthrax and play bass guitar in my socks. That was fun. Can Norman Reedus yell? Yeah, I can yell. All right. Next one. When does Norman Reedus cat? Again, really bad English. When does Norman Reedus cat? I have a cat named Eye in the Dark. It's a black cat. My son named it that when he was 5 because it's black and we had black floors and he could only see his eyes. So he named him Eye in the Dark. He's a pain in my ass, but I still love him. When Norman Reedus email? Well, I'm not giving anybody my email, that's for sure, but I know how to email, if that's an answer. When is Norman Reedus up? In the morning, in the night, in the afternoon, all hours of the day I'm up, as you can tell. When does Norman Reedus Instagram? Not very often, but I have an Instagram. It's Big Bald Head, like everything else in my life, which actually comes from a Laurie Anderson song. People ask me all the time, why Big Bald Head? My first concert was a Laurie Anderson concert. She was a performance artist and a musician here in New York. She still is. She was married to Lou Reed. My mom took me to my first concert was a Laurie Anderson concert. She came out in a glow-in-the-dark outfit with a violin. She was like, and then on a big screen behind her, her head popped up. And she goes, the sun's coming up, like a big bald head. And I just always remembered it. It scared the shit out of me, and that's why everything's big bald head. When does Norman Reedus get paid? Not right now, that's for sure. You know, it comes on I don't know. I really don't know. Not often enough. All right. Okay. Is Norman Reedus nice? Not really. Not at all, really. Is Norman Reedus left-handed? Nope, he's not. Next one. Is Norman Reedus a good, I think, actor is what that says. Not really. Is Norman Reedus in The Walking Dead? Yeah, he is. Does Norman Reedus have Snapchat? No, he doesn't. Does Norman Reedus have teeth? Nope. Does Norman Reedus have underwear? Nope. Next one. Does Norman Reedus have Uber? Yeah, on my phone. I've used it. What kind of dog does Norman Reedus have? He's got a cat. He doesn't have a dog. He wants a dog. He doesn't have a dog. Except on the show, he's got a dog named Dog. But I have a cat. So there you go. All right. Next one. Who Norman Reedus zombie prank? Who hasn't Norman Reedus zombie prank? I got zombie pranked in Tokyo by this nice gentleman that jumped out of a table and scared the out of me while I was playing Candy Crush. Yeah, I like him a lot, but that guy. Norman Reedus, Boondock Saints. Yeah, I was in Boondock Saints. There's always talk of a third. I get asked every day. Never say never. Who knows? Next one. Norman Reedus, John Connor. I don't even know what that means.
I think they think you should play John Connor in the Terminator films.
Oh, that's the guy from the... Yeah, yeah, I'll do that. Do I get powers? Do I get to morph through?
No, you killed Terminators.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.